Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those of you watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you're having a great day. It's nice and rainy where I'm at. 2024. Anyways, it's your typical January day, right? So anyways, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about riding a unicorn. I had a specialized A because all day long, all morning, started making this in the morning. I've been saying riding the unicorn, but it's riding a unicorn. Riding a unicorn. So let's get into this show. The show is about a young woman who starts her own company, and her company is to create an app for people who can't afford like higher education or maybe wants to improve their knowledge. So it's kind of like a learning app, an educational app. And excuse me. So she starts this company, and at the beginning of this, we see how determined she is. She's not from a wealthy family, so she's kind of stealing college classes, which is great. And while she's doing this, she meets up with two guys who are like programmers, and they help her create this company. And while she's the one that comes up with the ideas, they're the ones who actually do the programming. And so they're this fresh company trying to grow. And riding a unicorn, I guess you can say this is related to the middle-aged man that they hire. And in this part of this story, it kind of reminds me of the story of the movie The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro, you know, where she hires him. He's kind of like her confidant, and he gives her advice, a business advice. This is basically what this man does. It also kind of reminds me also of The Internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Hart. This is not wrestling, Owen Wilson, right? You know, how they didn't know anything about Google or any of the programming or anything like that, but they get their internship and they're the ones that come up with the ideas. This is kind of how this is. Our middle-aged man here, he's been banking his whole life, and he doesn't know anything about programming or anything, but he does know stuff about numbers and the business side and how to act professional. And this is kind of how he helps this company. As our lead female here, she kind of leans on him a little bit as the story goes along, and he kind of helps her realize that traditional business isn't always bad. As we see, kind of like the show kind of has a conflict between the changing of the times in the business world. And he kind of introduces her like, yeah, times are changing, but it's also important to hold on to those traditional values and how these traditional values will help your company grow and how you can use them to help innovate your company as well. I did really enjoy this aspect of the story as kind of goes into what it takes to start your own business, the difficulties you have, the challenges, what you need, what kind of resources you need to overcome these challenges. You see that they need money, so they enter these contests, earn these grants and stuff so that she can invest in her company. We see like the different employees that she needs in different fields and how they get their own specializations and to order to help her. Like she's like the CEO. She's the one that came up with the idea. She can't do it all on her own. She needs to rely on her fellow co-workers, her fellow co-workers, and help them and take into their suggestions to help improve her company and how they're all basically a team trying to grow and become more profitable, not only profitable, but also be able to serve their customers better. And so you get these sessions where they're kind of brainstorming on how they can improve. We see her working with people to invest in her company and stuff like that. Really enjoyed that part, and especially like the challenges and stuff. And I think this show does come from Japan. I haven't watched some American stuff, here lately. Hopefully this starts to change, but we have this young woman, so you kind of got this woman power. But the Japanese do it very well, and that just shows that this because she's a woman, she has her flaws in this, and she needs help, and that not like all like I guess what I'm trying to say, like example of this would be like Wonder Woman 1984, where all the men are bad except for our good guy Trevor here. In this one, you do got your evil men, like her most competition does come from a guy, who's trying to kind of steal her talent. But we also see that, you know, the women and there's guys are not all bad. Like, you got men who are good as well, and helping her achieve her dreams of starting this company, stuff like that. I don't feel like in these days you don't really see that in Hollywood, where if you have this woman trying to, like a strong woman per se, they make all the men kind of weak and evil, or either weak or the evil kind of stuff. In this show, they're not, doesn't do that whatsoever. Everybody's competent, both men and the women and stuff like that, and they're working together to achieve this goal. So I really did like this. Other aspects I did like about this movie is that the guy that she's interested in, he's just as capable as she is. And he comes from she comes from like a poor family. He comes from a very rich family. So it also kind of hints on, shows stuff like the difficulties and the challenges that both a poor family and a rich family has. For example, her mother loses her job due to innovation. You know, she's a cashier, and so the place she works at is going to more of that automated, you know, you pay for your own stuff kind of stuff, which I hate these days because, you know, I don't work there at the stores, but, you know, sometimes I do find it more convenient actually going to a person. Off of that, back to this. So her mother kind of loses her job due to that, and she's trying to look for a new employment. You know, that kind of feel for those working class people. And then we see on our male side here, his family's very rich. His dad owns a corporation. His dad is not happy with him for not wanting to join the corporation and take it over after he retires. However, that's kind of his trials, but his father also has his own big trial in which his companies gets hacked and people lose all their information, and it kind of destroys the company's reputation. And so his father has to deal with that and trying to overcome those problems as well. So I did like that aspect. I really enjoyed everything about this show on how, you know, it just like I like how it was like a camaraderie of these people trying to build up this company, facing challenges head on, trying to overcome them. You know, everybody has their weak spots. It shows kind of the nuances. So if you're trying to start a company, you know, a lot of stuff that you will face, you can see in this show, and how they overcome it and the things they have to do to overcome them. Feel like it was really realistic, and it did a great job showing that. I like how they do some comparisons between the wealthy and the poor, like I just mentioned, between the wealthy corporations who are really established. You see that in here, and how they kind of differ from her company, who's just a startup, the hiring process and stuff like that. It's just a really great show. You can find it, like I said, you can find it on Netflix, Riding a Unicorn. I'm going to highly recommend this one. I think you will enjoy it very much. It's a very well written show. One of the best Japanese shows I've seen. Also, before I close, I'd like to say how every time I watch a Japanese show, they always somehow put in the fact that nobody's getting married, nobody's having children. And this one, you know, she tries to get money for her educational app here, and the person's like, yeah, your company's going to be dying because nobody's having kids. Basically is what they tell her. So I like how the Japanese are very, very well aware that they're having a population crisis over there. Nobody's having children. And, you know, there's a lot of shows about that kind of stuff. I'll get into some. I'll review a few of them that I've seen. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. And you'll see me in the next video. Adios, amigos. Bye.